Hey, Matt Noren at the Community Workbench. I proudly sponsor the Community Workbench and everything that it represents for local entrepreneurs. And speaking of which, I am a local entrepreneur. I am a realtor with Remax Bell Park in Dayville, Connecticut. Fully licensed in Connecticut to do commercial, rentals, and residential. I absolutely love my job, love working with clients. So if you are in any need for a realtor, please give me a call, 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt and Kyle. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much where we feel like talking to. And today we feel like talking to the Chop Shop. We have Ryan Howley and Star, one of his newest recruits.
That's right. Yeah, Star came in about 4 or 5 months ago now.
Yeah.
And perfect fit right off the bat. She kind of walked in the door unexpectedly. We're just cutting hair, and I'm licensed, looking for a job, and kind of had a good feeling. So I actually sat down with her in the back, and we said, "Let's make this happen." And it's been smooth sailing pretty much ever since. She's building a clientele, puts out phenomenal work. She's been a barber for 14 years?
13. Going on 13, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so good addition to the shop, and we kind of wanted to come on today and promote the annual toy drive that we have going.
Heck yeah.
We have a cut-a-thon, basically. All the money that we generate in gifts, then we donate to, it's kind of like the Access Agency, and I think Brooklyn Cares. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we go shopping afterwards with all the money, drop off the gifts, and it's just a feel-good thing for the community, and I think it's necessary,
Yep. So that's December 8th, the Christmas Cut-a-thon from 8 to 1
Yep.
at the Chop Shop, located at 136 Main Street, Unit 4, Danielson, Connecticut, 06239.
Absolutely.
So if you need your Christmas haircut to look good for those Christmas pictures,
Yeah, go on. You could go to thechopshop.net, or you can go to Vigaro, look us up, and it's really easy. You follow the book now button, and you plug in that appointment for the 8th, and we'll take care of you, and all that money gets donated. It's for a good cause.
nice. Nice. Anybody heard that? That was the dogs taking off on a hardwood floor. Everything all right? Oh. So this is your second year of doing that?
So this will be our third year doing
Third year. Nice.
Third year with Aisling CrossFit. And prior to that, I kind of started this, I want to say about 6 years ago. And my idea was to just kind of help out local families. But the way I guess the problem was I didn't have the resources to find the people that needed the gifts,
Right.
because it's kind of a personal thing. You don't want to
Yeah.
be like, hey, I'm hurting for money. So it wasn't as successful doing it like that. I did help out. But then we said, let's do a cut-a-thon. And then by working with the Access Agency and Jay, it's anonymous. They have the gifts already kind of sorted out. So it makes it easier for us.
Right, right. Yeah, that's awesome. And for gifts, you guys are doing toys. You do clothing.
Yeah, we do toys, anything from pretty much infants all the way up to 16, something like that. We do toys, clothes, winter hats, gloves. And we'd really appreciate if anybody could stop by and drop off anything they want to donate, whether it's cash or a gift. We assure you it's going to the right cause. And
Yeah, that's awesome that you, just all hands on deck that Sunday and everybody just cuts. And
it's just a feel-good thing. It puts you in the Christmas mood, And last year, I want to say we did, I might be wrong, it's either like 2,400 or 3,400, but we break a record every year.
right.
It just gets better.
A little bigger, better.
And then this year it's cool. We're doing we're long overdue for our shop outing. So I'm going to take the guys out, the whole crew out afterwards to 85 Main. We have a table reserved.
Nice.
We're going to have a nice holiday dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how many guys do you have, or people do you have cutting?
So there's 5, including me. So we have Ian Azell. He was, besides me, he was the next one in. So Ian, then we have Stephanie Credit. We have Christian Carpenter. And then we have Star. And Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, Christian Carpenter cut my son's hair, and thank you because he gave us a
Yeah,
gift
yeah.
card last year. Yeah, I don't have any hair, so
I get it, bro. I get it.
it's all good. But if things work out, I'll leave the beard a little scruffy and try and get in there
Yeah.
on Sunday. And even if I don't, I'll just put the money down and walk out.
Wish everyone did that. That's nice.
Yeah, I definitely I love the idea, the cause, and bringing bringing it to a local community. Local like Brooklyn Cares.
Yeah, I mean, it's that immediate. You get to see the difference that you're making. You're not sending your money out to some organization and God knows where it goes. You see the impact directly on your community, and it's important. Danielson's on a rebound right now.
Yeah,
really happy for that. This is like the comeback. If there's going to be one, it's right now.
Yeah,
the spots are filling up, becoming more valuable as they do. I just have high hopes for the future of Danielson, and I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm glad we got in there at the beginning.
Yeah, they're definitely on an uptick, and as a realtor, we kind of see it first because people start making deals and filling leases or rehabbing some of the storefronts and stuff like that, and that's definitely going on. So
it's good news.
It's really cool to see.
Well, you have this transition, right? You had the old businesses, the old Allen's Clothing. Things that aren't even there anymore. It used to be a bank. It used to be a hardware store, and those businesses have faded out. So now it's the new generation kind of reinventing what small business is and what works, what doesn't, and that leads to a lot of good changes.
Yeah, I love how you kind of brought that up because, like, I feel like the vibe with small businesses is everybody helps everybody out.
Yeah,
like I do promotions and other events with other realtors, I'm sure you would probably be open to the same thing. We have,
of course,
multiple coffee shops, and they all just kind of they find their own niche, so they're not really totally competing with each other because they have different vibes.
Exactly.
So it's and it's how many I was a contractor. How many contractors build houses and rehab houses? It's but we're at the lumber yard together and we don't treat each other like crap. You know what I mean? It's not that, shark type of environment anymore. It really feels like small businesses are starting to stick together a lot more.
For sure. And the money stays in the community.
Right.
You come to me, I go to the coffee shop, I go to Surplus, and then that money stays locally. It's not going to Walmart and overseas.
Yeah.
And I think that, you're going to get better customer service because it matters, right? That'll sink our ship. If we're bad to people, they won't come in. Whereas if it's Walmart, you kind of expect it. Nothing against them, but I mean, it matters.
Yeah,
kind of stick together.
You're more than just a number when you walk through the door.
Absolutely.
Amen.
More than just a price tag or a certain amount of money spent. It's and it's great to know, who's serving your coffee, who's making dinner or whatever. It is really cool to know the people and really see.
Relationships, friendships. One hand washes the other.
Right.
And, sometimes people think that with small business, if another restaurant comes in, that's going to take away from me. But as we saw with Putnam, it just creates a location. It creates a destination, and you feed off of each other, and it brings people in, and then they'll hop around.
Yeah, and Putnam's really great with events. I mean, they always have events that overflow the restaurants to the point where the surrounding towns are getting business because of their big event or whatever that they're throwing at the time.
Yeah, I think Danielson's, over the last couple of years, they've been doing a lot more events. The springtime festivals, the Tomato Fest, the Music Fest. It seems like it's coming together. I'm happy.
Yeah, and then even like local Chubby Dog had their
it was like the
big band battle of the bands type of event. I mean, that's
we actually
huge
did a
undertaking for that.
Yeah.
This is a huge undertaking for that, and that's, to me, that's just like the idea of the local entrepreneur. They want to do more. They want to make it bigger and bring more people in.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Star, did you want to maybe get into how you started?
Yeah. So I started probably a year after I graduated high school. I went to school at Rob Roy Academy in Fall River. That's where I'm from. I hopped around and did women's hair for a little bit and realized I did not like it.
Okay.
How come?
Women are very difficult. You know,
Never heard that.
it's the chemicals and women come in and they're like, I want my hair to look like this. Okay, well, that picture could be edited. The lighting is different. Like, I don't know what they used for products. So it's very just all over the place. And women are mean when they don't get what they want. And I can say that because I'm a woman. But yeah, I realized that I didn't like doing women's hair. And then I got an opportunity to work on a military base.
Oh, wow.
Out on Cape Cod. And my ex-wife at the time, she is a barber, still is, and she taught me everything I know, pretty much about men's hair. And I've progressed in my learning and honed my skill, and I've been doing it for, again, almost 13 years, and I love it. I love cutting men's hair. I love the conversation that I have with just like men in general. Like the relationship is just different and calmer. I think of myself as like a hair therapist.
Nice.
You know, like
Yeah.
guys sit in my chair and they just immediately want to just have conversation. You know, they're human. People see men as like this hard exterior type of
Oh, not a.
No.
humans. The scruffy beards and the construction, and it's like they're just human, you know? They want to feel good. They want to be looked at as like how we look at women, you know? It's just different. So
Kyle definitely likes to look pretty.
yeah, exactly.
We want to be objectified too.
Exactly. I think it's important that men realize that they should and can take care of themselves. And it's not just with haircuts, it's more than that. Like, I offer facials to men because it's important that you take care of your skin. Not only is it important as far as like looks wise, but you could get a freckle and it could be cancer. And you would never know because you would be like, oh yeah, it's just a freckle, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it's just important to let men be almost vulnerable in a setting like that, and make them feel good. You know, men deserve it.
And you probably get a little bit more of that than I would.
Yeah.
You know, because being a female, they feel a little bit more vulnerable where it might be different conversations. So that's
Yeah, no,
interesting
absolutely.
too, you know?
Which is definitely every time I walk into these places, I'm like, I feel like I have to be macho because it's like all these guys fucking sports not vulnerable.
This is where the men go, right?
You go and sit in there.
Oh no, I welcome all men who want to have conversations that make them cry. Come cry in my chair. Absolutely. I have tissues and a blanket for you if you need it.
Nice.
Yeah, so, you know, it adds another element to our shop.
Right.
You know, another personality, another approach to barbering. And, yeah, I mean, everybody there, it's the same result, right? You walk out, you got a good haircut, but the personalities is what also makes the experience different from chair to chair. And, I'm just lucky. I'm so thankful, and honestly, to all you guys and my other barbers, we're a family. We look out for each other, and we're all putting in that effort daily. You know, and they care about the shop, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
They're not just a number. It's obviously a small business, and, you know, that's why I want to take them out to eat. It's the least I could do, and have a good time on me. And, you know, just on a daily basis, I am thankful, and I wouldn't have it any other way, you know.
Yeah, that's big, and like your shop is awesome too because you got the pool table and
Yeah.
is it like a jukebox? What else is in there?
We got,
Oh,
a little Street Fighter arcade
that's right.
claw
yeah.
machine.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What's in the claw machine?
It was like, there was like a $50 gift card and one of the eggs.
Oh.
It was like little tchotchke toys for kids. But yeah, it's broken at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
That was a sad
It's like
story.
it's like a
Perfect time for me to
number
bring
one
my kid
revenue
in.
stream.
It's funny the vending machines and pinball machines, stuff like that, and like all the way up until the early '80s, they were huge.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
make a lot of money on some of these places.
But then everybody's got it on their phone now.
Right,
Right.
stuff.
That's
But it's still
boring.
cool to have.
Well, vending machines are still pretty popular. But
Yeah.
And then there's parents like me that don't allow their kid to have a phone, so they thrive when they go to places like yours and
It's like
Chubby
Chuck E.
Dog.
Cheese.
Yours and Chubby Dogs. They're like, can we have a quarter? I'm like, yeah, we can do a quarter. Better than a $900 phone.
Yeah, it's true.
So, no, that's cool. You guys have a really cool, look to the place, and
Yeah.
it just gives you that classic barbershop feel.
Absolutely.
And you want to go over kind of a little bit more of your origin story? I know you told it a year ago, but we have more followers and stuff now, and I just love the origin stories, stories, and origin.
So it was kind of like I was one of 4 boys, and my mother was cutting her hair, and I felt like it wasn't the best, so I was like, you know what, and I had an interest. I just wanted to see if I could do it, so I started cutting my brother's hair, and then my grandmother, who lived downstairs, she had a shorter haircut, so she's like, oh, try the scissors on me, and it was just one of those things that I wanted to master immediately. I was like, I want to get better. I see what it should look like. It's not coming out like that. How do I get there? So I just put a lot of time in, free haircuts for all my friends.
How old were you at that time?
So at this time, I'm probably 7th, 8th grade,
Wow.
something like that. Yeah. And that was just like a side gig. And then it kind of evolved into high school where maybe didn't apply myself like I should have. So I was running out of options. I wasn't going to college. I'm like, what do I want to do, And I think it was like my grandmother and my mom, they're like, well, you like cutting hair. But at that time, there was kind of like, it was more taboo back then. Barbering wasn't really a thing. It had died out. So in town, you had like the 70-year-old barber, and there was no new guys. So I said, you know what? I'll get a job at, my mom went to a salon. So I got a job at a salon, answering phones, kind of seeing the in and out of the business. And I told her I could cut hair. And this is Joanne Bates that owned Cali Company, Cali Image up in Putnam. Awesome lady. She put me on, gave me a chance. I showed her a haircut. She says, why don't you come in after school and on Saturdays, and you could start barbering. So I remember my first day, I'm some young punk kid. I'm like 16, and I come in. I had never even put a cape on someone's neck, and I just had a stacked day of appointments, and it was torture. I mean, dude, I had rosary beads in my pocket. I was bugging out, panic attacks, because it's a lot of pressure, So I kind of faked it till I made it, and then at that point, I decided I'm going to follow up on this, get my license, go to school. So I went up to Johnston, to Rhode Island Beauty Academy, got my certification. I was doing women's hair at the time as well, because she trained me in that, and I was like, if it's going to make me money, I'll do it, I'll try it. That ended up not being my thing. I ended up dating a girl I worked with up in Putnam, which is, they tell you not to do it.
Now you know why.
So, yeah. So we worked like 4 feet from each other. That went south. One day I'm just like, I quit. I'm out. I can't do this. And I went to my best friend's father, who owned Cut Above, and that was Gary Doyle down in Moosup. And he gave me a job on the spot, and there began kind of my barbering career. So I worked for him. One of my buddies, who also cut in high school, Angelo Exahulius, was like, hey, man, I'm cutting. Do you think you could let me like job shadow you? I said, let me get you a job. How about that? We'll do you one better. So I told my boss, he knocked down the wall, rented out the spot behind it, expanded, and then we brought Angelo in. And then with me and Ange, now we got 2 young barbers in an area that has no young barbers. We're going to school, barbering school in the city, so we're bringing back like edge ups, blowouts, tapers, things that weren't being done in this area. It was more military barbers back in this area,
Right.
So then with that, we just took off, man, and we were booked, and we had a huge clientele. And after a couple of years, we said, you know what? No offense to Gary, we love him, but let's make this money. So we saved up. We got a spot on Center Street in Danielson, and that was 2002. We were about 21, 22 years old. Opened up. I'm lucky enough to say instant success. We were booked from day one, and we were just grinding out. And then we're like, all right, let's evolve. Let's get a bigger shop and a better location. So we went to Brooklyn behind Baker's Dozen. Did that for 4 years. Then we bought a building in behind Classic Pizza. And then at that point, not getting into details, Andrew's my boy. I love him. All businesses kind of have their point where you need to go your separate ways. And it was beneficial for both of us. So I kind of took a payout. I went to Danielson, back to my roots. He was from Brooklyn. He kept Brooklyn. And then opened up the Chop Shop in 2017. It was just me. I brought on a barber, didn't work out, then brought in Ian Azell, and then there kind of is where it all began
Yeah.
for the chop shop.
For the chop shop.
And now we've grown it to we've had as much as 6 barbers. We're at 5 right now. That's a good comfortable spot, for the area. You get too many, you dilute the clientele. People make less, which
Yeah.
leads to it's not good for anybody. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and I think the goal is to kind of grow when needed. You have to know when to add that next chair. So we're going to ride this out for about a year, let everybody get nice and booked. Stars not from this area, so it's a little bit more difficult building a clientele when you're not in
Right.
town, bumping into people everywhere you go and giving them your business card. But I have no doubts that she's going to do that. And then, maybe next year we expand. I'm always trying to think of creative ideas to kind of accentuate the business. I thought maybe a tattoo artist in one of the rooms, because I think that would kill it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants
Absolutely.
tattoos, and you got a guy in a private suite. But there's a couple other shops in the area that never really. Not that I'm over that idea, but if it comes to me, I would do it. But we'll kind of see what the future brings. But
Yeah, they got some of these other more city places, but they have some of like the full service with like shoe shining and
we talked about that.
tailored suits and stuff like that. Yeah. So I like, to me that's like really cool. And we got the Superior Court down, so there's lawyers and all kinds of professionals in and out of this Danielson all the time.
Yeah.
So
I had actually put a post up after I got done with the podcast last time. I had one guy hit me up, but the hours weren't going to be appropriate for what I needed.
oh, for shoe shining.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
it would have to be someone who's patient, who obviously has a job on the side. I don't think you're going to retire doing it, but it's a cool concept.
Right.
I would do it myself if I had the time. I would,
Yeah.
because I watch Angelo Shoe Shine, not my old business partner, but the guy on YouTube.
Oh, really?
It's interesting.
Yeah, I was walking through like the airports. They're all gone. Like
Yeah.
they used to have like the big stage, and you'd sit there, and it's like a pastime now.
Well, I don't want to get into a whole nother topic, but it's a throwaway society. A
Yeah.
lot of the shoes that are made aren't even worth cleaning. Some of these, if you have cheap boots,
Right.
Yeah.
but I've kind of gotten it. I like that kind of craft stuff, So I watch Rose Anvil on YouTube. He's the guy that cuts the shoes in half.
Oh yeah,
Boots. Oh, you got to
Yeah,
check
I
it out.
haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm open to it, but we'll see what happens.
When he cuts the shoe in half, what happened? What are you just looking at it?
So he'll take the shoe, kind of give you what they claim, what features are in the boot for X amount. It's
okay.
mostly like leather goods. So then it'll be like, all right, let's see if they're, to their word. Then he cuts it in half, and then it'll be like, oh, see, they're lying. This isn't high density foam. And there's no shank, and he kind of compares and tells you if it's worth the money or not.
Wow.
Kind of like a boot review.
Yeah, that's cool. Hope he doesn't cut up any antique Jordans or something.
Oh, he does.
Antique?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
man.
I think at this point he's up to like $125,000 worth of shoes he's cut in half.
Oh
Oh my god.
yeah, but how much has he made on YouTube?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's worth it. And they're all
Wow.
free shoes.
I mean, it's like Dave Portnoy that runs Barstool Sports,
Yeah.
right? Like he rescued his dog. He bought like $8,000 bowls, like a
For the
water
dog,
bowl. Yeah, but then he's like, yeah, but the content I'll create with it, like far
Make me
exceeds-
200 grand.
Right, exactly. So it's like I don't want to say it takes money to make money, but like he's cutting up shoes that eventually he's gonna make out on.
For sure.
Yeah, that is a wild concept, though, to cut them up. I have a couple of shoe collectors that I know, and they're just like, it's like so pristine the way they keep them and stuff. Wear them once a year or whatever.
Vacuum pack.
Yeah,
I'm the guy. If I buy it, I'm wearing it. Out of the
Same
store
here.
usually.
Same here. My wife's like, you haven't worn these in 3 days.
Yes.
Can we get rid of them yet?
Oh man.
So, how are you liking Danielson? Is it different than where you grew up?
It is very different. So, if anybody knows what Fall River is, they know that it's not the best city to live in.
Okay.
You mean it's right on the water?
I don't know if I've ever been there.
Really?
No,
I don't know.
You've probably
it's
driven
a-
I've heard like stuff being out there, like advertisements or whatever.
Didn't the
listened to
Boy
it, Rhode
Scouts
Island.
go to the ship that's down there on the water?
Battleship Cove?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
Fall
remember
River.
doing
Okay.
Yes.
So I've done one thing in Fall River.
I mean, it is an upcoming city. They've got a lot of new restaurants and things for people to do. But from my perspective, somebody that's grown and raised there. It will always be Fall River. But I when I first came out to Danielson, I think it was like my first day at the job. The first day I worked at the shop, and I grabbed coffee over at Moon Magic Cafe.
Nice.
And I grabbed a bagel with some cream cheese, and I sat down at the table, and I just watched everybody walk up and down the street, minding their own business. Just, it was very calm, very cool. And it was just like a small town vibe. Like, I really, really like a small town vibe. Everyone's very, like, intertwined. Everybody knows everybody. There's no, like, foul language all over the place and people beeping at you or in a rush or anything like that. So it's definitely, like, the opposite of where I came from.
Gotcha.
But I do plan on moving out here at some point. Right now I live in Woonsocket.
Oh yeah.
Which is also like Fall River.
That's just like a inland Fall River.
Yes, an inland Fall River.
I can say that I grew up in Cumberland. So.
Okay. So you get
very,
it.
Very familiar with the town of Rhode Island. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Rhode Island is, I feel like it's getting smaller and smaller by the second. You can always tell when you hit the border of Rhode Island from here. For
yeah,
sure.
it just turns to potholes.
Potholes.
Well, they just repaved Route 6 all the way down.
Yeah. Every election year, we get one state road done.
Hey, if it's the one I travel on, I don't care.
But yeah, I love Danielson. It's a really nice town out here. I actually have some business ideas to
Nice.
kind of get the community back involved. One of my ideas was a billiards room.
Oh,
Okay.
Because there's none out here.
yeah.
Nobody
there-
plays pool anymore, so it's very different.
Yeah, our last one was Bill's up in Putnam. Bill's had quite a few tables.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I definitely played pool there in my 20s. Fuzzy as my 20s are. That's the last one I can remember. And then, like, there was one pool table up at one in Willimantic, going into Willimantic, the sports bar.
Oh, on
Yeah,
the right.
yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot of places to play pool.
Yeah, so my idea for that is to just have a bunch of pool tables, maybe some darts, like old school games that you just don't see anymore. A place where you can hang out, even if you don't drink or whatever. Like, you can come and bring your kids there, like get the kids involved in playing different things if they're not like sports kids, or, you know, like my daughter does not play sports. She does not have an athletic bone in her body, but she loves to play pool. Every time she comes into the shop, she's playing pool on our pool table. Another idea was a roller skating rink.
Well, you don't like the one in Plainfield?
I have never been there, but I heard that it's very old and a little run down. They could use some updating, but I think it's
I've been to a few birthday parties there. It's not too bad.
okay.
But-
I mean, I've never been there.
Yeah.
I do plan on taking a trip in there to see what it looks like and stuff like that, because I own my own pair of skates. So I
Nice.
like to skate.
Okay, so you'll be a real critique. Someone who knows.
If the floor is wobbly, I'll know. But I think it's good to have places like that in every town that
Yeah.
you have, because not a lot of people like to travel. You know, like Danielson is a very small town, but it's very spread out. So even to go anywhere, you have to drive
Yeah.
a couple minutes, you know? So I think having stuff like that, keep the kids out of trouble,
Yeah.
you know, give them a place to hang out. I know when I was a kid, that's all I wanted, was a place to hang out with my friends,
Yeah.
you know, like somewhere where I wasn't going to get into any trouble or
Right.
get yelled at by adults for doing some crazy nonsense stuff.
Yeah,
So-
we've been watching some of the old sitcoms with our kids, and I noticed like every sitcom had that like cafe for the kids to go to. Like,
Yeah,
just, like,
absolutely.
hang out, and like all of them. So
Yeah,
it's-
and I mean Chubby Dog and like a couple of other places that have like the games and stuff like that. They're trying to get the kids into,
yeah,
you know, the community and not
Right,
being like all about themselves or like getting in trouble with their friends and whatnot, because I do know that behind the scenes there are things that are unseen. And we, as parents, you want to keep your kids away from all that stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a cool vibe in there with the with all the game nights and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
it's cool if you don't have a family game night. You have that. You know,
Yeah.
you got a
Yeah,
place like that
absolutely.
kind of thing.
and it's just a chance to get out of the house, like COVID really stuck us inside of our houses for a while, and I think we all miss socializing and connecting with people, especially because everyone's all about their cell phones nowadays. So it's just nice to have places where we can go and we can put away the electronics and we can have full conversations with people and connect and just have a good time.
Yeah, it's actually I'm going to butcher this, but there was a whole article that I read about bowling alleys across America and how like everybody's dad or mom was on a bowling league and you would go and you would hang out while the parents were bowling, and then there was the arcade games and stuff like that, and that was like a
Absolutely.
huge social thing up until like the 80s. It started to
Die down.
die off. And
You know what a good location is? Right in Brooklyn, the old Friendly Bowl.
the old friendly bowl.
That shut down. It's got the lanes. It's got pool tables, or it did at one point, and you could incorporate a roller skating rink within the same.
Yeah,
building,
absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Just don't leave the shop.
No. No, I will never stop cutting hair. That is a forever thing for me.
Nice. That's cool when people find their their purpose, really, and then to have an employer like Ryan over
Yeah,
here.
no, Ryan has been very, very good to me. I'm very grateful to be at the shop. The environment is just so much better than what I've had in the past. I can be myself, and I'm not judged or looked at differently. And, I see the potential that I have at that shop, and Ryan does too. And I like that he can see that potential, because most corporate places or barbershops are not like that. So it's good.
And I get that a lot now from a lot of the entrepreneurs in our area. Is just they give their employees this like certain amount of freedom, like creative freedom, and to really find and they make their position there more their own, and
Absolutely.
they almost feel irreplaceable at some point because of
Yep.
how much they've let you curtail it to you. you
Yep.
know? So
Absolutely.
it's like that's really a cool way of, I think, of running a business. You get like more of that creativity out of
You get more out of people too,
Right,
when
yeah.
they're enjoying what they're doing, and
Right.
you're not like micromanaging them to death, or they
Right.
feel like they're a robot.
Well, and they have a vested interest.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, the minute they don't have vested interest, it's over.
Yeah, you don't have skin in the game.
They don't care. So
yeah.
I think barbering itself is a creative job. Like, you have to have some sort of art vision or creativity in order to be a barber or hairstylist. You have to see what nobody else sees.
yeah,
So in order to continue and to grow in that type of job, you have to be creative. And with like corporate hairstyling places or corporate barbershops, they don't do that. They
Right.
push you to push product and push you to make numbers and do all that stuff. And then that's when you start feeling like you're a robot. And then you're like, "Ugh, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to go to work and all this other stuff." But I wake up every morning and I'm like, I cannot wait to go to work.
Right. Nice.
I can't wait to see how many clients I have today. I can't wait to see what conversations I'm going to have today. It's
Yeah.
a good place.
And the creativity thing is big because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, I don't know what I want. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
anybody get lightning bolts in the side of their head?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, man. I
if-
remember when my dad did that.
we do have so Steph does really good designs.
yeah.
She is fantastic with them, actually. I'm getting there as far as designs go. But yeah,
She freehand?
she does freehand.
Wow.
Is there a way to stencil it?
You can
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you can stencil it if you wanted to. They now have like markers and crayons and stuff that you can like
Oh,
draw
shit.
on the person's head to help you like ease your way into like
Yeah.
practicing and stuff like that. I myself am an artist. Like, I draw already, so I also freehand. It's just a lot easier for me. But yeah, for somebody who doesn't know how to do designs or has like no vision of like how to place it on their head or anything like that, they do have like stencils and stuff.
Cool.
There's no eraser, so
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah.
intimidating.
Oh, I work with the
Very.
eraser. That's all I do. Shave it off. Come
There's all
back in
different-
2 weeks.
Do you
One
do
wrong
the burning of the ear hair and the nose hair?
Oh no.
No?
no, no,
None
no.
of you guys do?
I don't even know if you can do that in America.
I feel
Dude, I had never been to a barber in my life, and my buddy got married in 2017 on the Cape, and that was like his gift to us was like to this like old school barber shop, and he
Yeah.
did it, and I was like caught off guard. I was like, oh, but
Where was that at?
oh gosh, Orleans. It was pretty far down there.
Okay.
But he's like super popular guy. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So you rent out the whole thing. There were like 15 of us or 12 of us or something.
Just starts burning
Yeah,
everybody. up.
did everything, soup to nuts. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
I
seen the
mean,
Turk-
I'm not a fan of burnt hair. The smell
No,
of
but
it
you
is-
didn't. No, yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
didn't smell
It was
it?
like so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've seen them do it.
I've never
Mostly
seen
like
this
Turkish
process.
barbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was.
Dude,
yeah.
they beat you up.
Yeah.
You know, whole body massage. They
Oh yeah.
karate chop
Yeah.
your
Start
neck.
slapping. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. I was like, I should come to the barber more often.
You have to call out of work the next day. after the haircut.
But it sounds like you guys do stuff like not the chopping.
Dude,
but,
I've
you
tried,
know,
because I saw these Turkish barber videos. So I'm like, you know what? I want to offer something like that. So I put it on the menu, and it just didn't really catch on. You know?
Yeah.
I sewed up the head and give them a straight razor shave and head massage and pull their ears, you know, all that kind of stuff. It sounds weird, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
They really do beat you up. I don't know. Maybe it's just not in our culture. It's too weird. I don't know.
I mean, I offer it. I mean, like I said, like facials and stuff, like I offer that. We have a service that's called The Works on our menu, and that consists of like a haircut, a beard, full beard detailing. It comes with the facial, and the facial is pretty intense. You get a little scrubby brush and a mask. No like extractions or anything like that, but
What's
It
an
is-
extraction?
like pimple extractions
Oh,
or
okay.
blackhead extractions or anything. I would love to do that, but I'm not an esthetician, so I need my license to do that first. But then after all that, you get like a nice little shampoo and a scalp massage, little neck massage
Wow.
at the end, and then you just style and you're on your way, feeling like a brand new person.
Nice.
Well, we wouldn't style because we can't, but
I
we
think I
would
know-
just come for the
I think I
rest.
know where I'm going.
No, but I do have like one of those car shiny things where you just wax on, wax off.
Man,
I feel like she's
You know,
knocking us now.
being bald doesn't bother me. I actually enjoy it, but there are a lot of men that hate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love. I'm like, this is low maintenance.
Yeah.
It is
I-
very low maintenance.
I can remember being at the counter of a diner, and the guy that owned the place was talking about how he had gone out with his daughter's friends and stuff, and they were talking about how young you looked and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, I couldn't deal if I lost my hair." And then I nonchalantly just took my hat off and put it on the thing before. He's like,
you know, no offense.
he's like, "No, man." That's exactly how he reacted too.
What did Ian say? He was like, if I lose my hair, I'm moving. He's like, I'll just
Did
reinvent.
he
yeah,
say that?
Go
Yeah.
into witness protection or something.
Well, I mean, if you're a barber and you're bald,
Yeah.
it's like, who can you trust? You know? I mean, if you have a good clientele, they'll keep coming, but
Yeah.
you may not get new clientele.
Yeah, you're not the best billboard. I guess.
No, you gotta have hair on your head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advertisements I get hit. Like on Facebook, any social media that I'm on, it's always got something for regrowth of hair. I don't it
No,
must
I'm-
know that I'm bald.
Your phone's in here; it'll have a lot now.
Oh yeah, they're listening.
Yeah, and I just like I wonder if any of it works. Like, there's some
Dude, I'll tell you
now
right
that are
now.
just a pill you take for 6 months and then you grow your hair back.
No, no,
like,
no. So
really?
like,
But how does it know to only grow back on your head?
That's a good point.
so there are certified like minoxidil and Propecia. I think it's Propecia.
Yep,
Are
yep.
two, you know, FDA.
Propitia's been
approved.
around forever.
Yeah, and but they primarily work on the back of the head. The front hairline is the issue, and it all comes down to your DNA, and it's become a lot more complicated than I guess what everyone thinks, right? Because if we can go to Mars at the moment, but we can't grow a hairline, like what's going on? So I guess the newest innovation is where they basically take your stem cells from your scalp, put them in a petri dish,
Grow.
and then grow you
See.
like a real toupee of your scalp in a petri dish, and then they would surgically implant it onto your head. Is kind of where it's
Well, they do hair. I don't want to
Implants.
say it's implant. It's like replant because they cut it.
yeah.
Yeah, transplant.
transplant,
Yeah,
hair
replant.
But that'll be the what I'm
You're
talking
making
about.
a word.
So essentially, like when you're balding, you're killing the follicle that your hair is coming out of.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like your
That's the best part.
the
It's not the
pores on your
smoothest.
skin. A lot of it's caused by genetics, but the other half of it is called by wearing hats.
Yeah,
Like
doesn't bother me.
it's the
Really?
friction. Yes. So the friction of wearing a hat will consistently rub against your hair. And at that point it breaks. And then once it breaks,
2
It-
minutes.
it will just think of it as like a string or a piece of rope. Once you cut that piece of rope, it will start to unravel. And if you don't take care of it and if you don't mend it, it will continue to unravel. And then once it gets to the actual follicle, then it's just dead at that point, and it just falls out.
Should have used
So
more of
that's-
my mom's Paul Mitchell.
So that's why the implants are essentially what they're doing is they're cutting out almost like a hole punch.
Yeah.
And they're hole punching your live follicle from either your face or the back of your head where you have hair,
Yeah.
and they're placing it back onto the front of your hair or like the crown area to help that follicle grow and to keep growing. But the second you do anything to,
You can't wear hats.
yeah,
Right.
I
Well,
mean
it's
you
probably,
can.
Is it more delicate once they transplant?
No, so it's actually a lot stronger.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a live follicle and it's not like irritated or anything like that from like overuse of hair or just rubbing on your head or but it's not even just your hair, it's you sleeping on a pillow. You know, any type of friction that you cause to your hair, it's gonna break. So the biggest suggestion is sleep with silk pillows or like a silk bonnet type of thing to protect your hair. Anything that's like fabricy, it's gonna cause friction, and friction is bad.
Or you lose it and then you pay $5,000, go to Turkey,
And
get a
that
little
too.
vacation,
Yeah.
some new hair.
I don't know.
That too.
I don't know.
Or you just go completely bald and you grow a nice hardy beard and look like
Yeah.
The Rock.
Either I don't know. It's on the horizon. You know, as far as the medicine goes, they
Right.
will eventually have a medicine that Pfizer probably creates, but I mean that's great news for us, right? Because now you have 25% of the population who is now a potential customer.
Right.
So, either way,
25% of the population is
I don't know.
bald?
I'm sure I'm spitballing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just.
Because
Right.
right now it's 50.
I was bald last time, dude. I swear to God, I started using Rogaine, and
Oh, really?
I'll blow up my spot. I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah, I started using Rogaine, and
But
it
that
does work.
thickens, right?
Well, it regrows.
Oh, it does.
It regrows hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty intense, right? You got to put it on your head, massage it
Not
into your
intense. It's
scalp.
twice a day. One in the morning, one at night. And I figured, you know what the hell? I'll give it my last farewell.
A
to
barber with luscious locks is probably a successful barber.
Can't hurt.
I don't know. With mine, it was almost directly related to my thyroid dying off.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just like almost instant. Like from one haircut to the next, it was like,
Really?
wildly different. Yeah, it was like 28, whatever. It was kind of funny because I started shaving my head as soon as Riley was born, but I bust on both Riley and my wife about, I used to have hair until you like, got married and had kids, and now I don't have hair.
Well, the timing lines up.
Yeah.
It happens.
But no, it was definitely like went through a rough time trying to get diagnosed for the hypothyroidism or whatever.
Okay,
it is.
yeah.
So, and I thought by taking the med that I take every day for it would, grow the hair back. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen at all yet.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Not even close.
It's interesting though that like Propecia grows it from the back because you don't see anybody that has hair here and is like they're always luscious here, right? Like
The
hair.
sides.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works.
So
Hmm.
strange.
It's
Kinda
because
beyond
of a
mine.
hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a lot invested in hats now.
Yeah. A hat's cheaper than going to Turkey.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so there is a woman that I follow on Instagram. They call her the Toupee Queen.
Oh.
And she's out of California. So I think we're just a little bit behind on the times on the East Coast.
Yeah.
A little bit. But she makes a killing putting toupees on people's heads. And they're like really, really good. Like they're human hair. So you can wash it, you can dry it, you can color it, you can do whatever you want to it. It stays on for about 8 to 10 weeks, I believe. You can shower, you can go swimming, you can do whatever you want with it, and it's fine.
Do you have a number?
I do not have her number, but I follow her on
I mean, that was big
Instagram.
back in what, like 50s? Even in Rhode
It was-
Island when I went there.
Wasn't it? They were called weaves or something like that, right? They took.
No, I think
They
so.
have all types of
They would weave
different
it into
names,
your-
but
the hair that you do have, they'd weave it into it. And,
I don't know. But
Like
like
every-
toupees.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
drop it off at the barber.
oh, okay.
You'd cut it up,
toupee's
come
different.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Well-
was a thing. And then it started getting clowned on a lot with modern
Yeah.
culture, you know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, you think of a toupee and you think of like the wind blowing and it just starts
Yeah.
lifting,
Yeah, like
It's
you
everybody's
gotta-
lifting up.
Dead skunk on your head or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, there were a few that when I worked security at Mohegan, you could see like the guy's hair would start, the hair that he had would start
Yeah.
to gray, but he wouldn't fix the toupee to be gray.
Exactly.
or vice versa. So it was like a pure divide of gray and brown hair or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
you
you
can
gotta
always
stay up
tell.
on it, for sure.
You can always tell when somebody had a toupee. Now with everything progressing, it's a lot different.
Yeah, technology's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll wait for the next generation, maybe. Never by the first generation.
Right.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I think it would be weird now, actually, just like all of a sudden having hair. Like,
I don't
be like,
You'd
well,
get
what did
so
you
many-
do? They'd be like, well, what did you do?
What's
You'd
your
have to get
secret?
40 of them with a little bit more
Yeah.
hair every time. But I'm growing it out.
It's going back. That thyroid medicine's finally working. That's awesome. So just want to say it again. December 8th, Christmas cut-a-thon from 8 to 1.
Yep.
Book your spot
This
or
Sunday.
just stop in and, if you can, donate.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, just stop in, say hi, like come see the Christmas tree. We'll have a Christmas tree set up and
I better get on that.
but yeah, we'll all be there, so just come by, say hi.
Yeah, you guys will have all hands on deck. That's awesome. And, then they're obviously going to be in a good mood. You're taking them out after.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Make a day of it, you know?
Yeah, that'll be cool. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I love the
think we
fact that
kinda-
just thank you for your support. I mean, you were the first one to call and say, "Can I come on the podcast?"
Dude, I always
was-
wanted to do it.
and we were
I was
like-
laying in bed. I'm
It
like,
was like a year ago, and it's like almost a year ago today. Actually, it was,
No kidding.
It's not far off of today. Was when
Okay.
you came on, and we were just like, he called us. we were like, yes. So
I think it's awesome.
thank you so much. And that after that, it was like the levee broke because
Yeah.
a lot of people just started calling to
That's
come on.
awesome.
So we were super appreciative of that, and so thank you.
Small
Yeah, thank
businesses
you too,
helping
man.
small businesses.
Yeah, that's what we're
right.
doing. So,
That's awesome.
can't thank you guys enough, and you're always
course.
welcome. And let's as a community, let's support this on December 8th, the cut-a-thon. Get your hair done at 136 Main Street, Unit 4, Danielson, Connecticut 06239. Give them a call or go online. You can give them a call at 860-412-9169. Thank you, Ryan and Star, for coming on tonight.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
Thechopshop.net is where you want to make the appointments. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing everybody.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everyone. Join us Monday night at 6, December 9th, when we interview Leanne, the owner of Bodyworks Massage
she's
and
awesome.
Wellness. Yes, she's coming.
She's the best.
You guys were like back to back last year, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
where
had,
I go for my massages.
Yeah.
for some reason, our new switcher at the time worked perfectly with you, and then just like blew up on her. It's like, So, so join us Monday when we have a little I don't know, what do you call it when you rally? Because we
I
like
don't
you
know.
that episode, you almost couldn't hear anything, so we were just
Yeah.
we were bumming about it.
We'll redeem ourselves.
Yes, redemption. So, so anyway, we'll see you Monday night at 6. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, and donate local.
My man. Thank you, guys.
Have
Thank
great
you.
days, everybody.
Bye.